Hey guys, so this is one of my part 2 to what Deku was a monster or a shapeshifter. Now basically guys, if you haven't watched part 1, they'll hit a little summary. Deku has the ability to shapeshift into any mythical monster, including Greek mythology or any type of mythology, anything. If it's classified as mythical in that country or that cities or that I don't know era's time, if it's classified as a urban legend or mythology, um, Deku can transform into it, like a Wendigo, werewolf, vampire, a centaur, a minotaur, anything like that, a titan even. So basically, Deku can transform into anime monsters as well. So yeah, so basically, guys, Deku is gonna be pretty OP. Now, I'm pretty sure Deku has no limits, but guys, if you guys know Deku's limits in this what if, just comment down below and correct me. But yeah, so guys, as always, I start right with it. As always, guys, for most of the time, I always say this, guys or girls, more of the percent of you guys, or percent of people, guys watch my videos, but I ain't changed percent. But yeah, so basically, um, yeah, so guys, basically, Deku is going to be a very OP character in this what if. Basically, I'm pretty sure Deku has superhuman agility, strength, and abilities. Like, he's just superhuman. So Deku's superhuman while he's in his hero form, kind of like, Captain America's super soldier serum type of stuff. Now, basically, guys, Deku pretty much goes to, goes into UA after getting the note from UA that he got in. Deku walks into UA and is really excited for UA. He walks into Class 1A and, pretty much, sits down. Now, basically, Deku walks into Class 1A and walks in there. Now, basically, Deku walks in there and he pretty much is chatting to everybody. Now, I'm pretty sure I was going to ship Deku with Mina or Momo. Basically, Deku starts talking to Momo and Mina, and pretty much, spitting some game, if you know what I mean. But basically, eventually, Asao walks into class and explains to the class that they're doing quirk assessments, and they get off their lazy bum and to walk outside. They put on their sports suits or their sports outfits, and pretty much, get ready. Basically, Deku is told to throw the ball first because he got the highest entrance exam score. Deku grabs the ball and pretty much transforms into a Titan. And pretty much, Deku turns a certain part of his body into a Titan, like his left arm, and pretty much chucks it. Everybody's confused how Deku's arm just grew the size of a building. But basically, they see the arm and they recognize it and they say, "You're the big giant dude from the entrance exams?" Deku says yeah, and de-transforms his arm. Now, for the long jump, Deku transforms into a monster vampire and pretty much flies over the sandpit. The race, Deku transforms into a werewolf and pretty much demolishes everybody in the race, becoming in second place because he wasn't fast enough to catch up with Ida. He was on Ida's tail, but Ida and him, tied. So yeah. So basically, for the, pretty much it's an extra test. The grip test, Deku just transforms to a werewolf again and wins, but it's also a throwing test. They have to throw a 500-pound weight about as long as 50 kilometers across the field. They have to throw it as far as they can, and they're going to match their, throwing strength. Deku transforms into a minotaur, grabs the ball, and chucks it as far as he can, going over the 50-kilometer mile and pretty much getting the highest score. Now, basically, everybody else gets an average score. The multiple arm Quirk guy and also Bakugo and Kirishima get a pretty outstanding score. Everybody else gets average, gets above average, kind of, just normal. Now, basically, Mina gets 6 feet, Bakugo gets about 30 feet, and what should I call it? Kirishima gets 10 feet, and Ida gets 6 feet too. And what should I call it? Ochaku gets 5 feet, and Ochaku gets what was it? Yeah, it's 12 feet, and also um everybody else gets 6 feet, average. But basically, I know everybody else gets 10 feet. So yeah, so basically everybody gets a pretty average score, pretty good score. When Deku de-transforms, he finds out that Mineta, or the purple bald-haired guy or kid, is being expelled because he got 1 foot. He threw that thing 1 foot. 1 foot. 1 foot. I know it's a 500-pound weight, but it ain't that heavy. He got 1 feet with it. 1 foot. I would at least get like maybe 13 feet or something in there, but he got 1 foot, so he obviously got expelled. And he, on all the other tests, he got average. He did get below average on the sand pit and also on the grip test strength. So Mineta was expelled, and basically Deku, Now, Mineta, Azawa actually did tell them about the whole entire expelling thing. So yeah. So basically, Deku, goes back home after everybody's sent back home with their syllabus, and pretty much Deku walks into his house, pretty much getting greeted by his mom and his dad. Basically, Deku sits down and pretty much lays down on his bed and just dozes off, not reading the, what's it called? The syllabus. Now, Deku wakes up the next morning pretty much late, like about 1 minute, about to be 1 hour late, because Deku was missed about 50 minutes of class already, and Deku's mom was left early for work. So Deku, rushes out of his room, putting on his UA clothes and transforming into a griffin, flying as fast as he can, getting to UA, and Azawa giving him a little bit of slack, but also giving Deku extra work, and also making Deku work a little bit harder, and also giving Deku about like a whole entire, probably 6 inches of pure, like a whole entire stack, like a dictionary stack of homework, that literally each page is like a test grade. So basically, Deku, goes through a lot of is like really, really sad. But he's cheered up when all my walks in the class and explains to the class they're doing combat training. Now, I'm gonna leave it off here, guys. Basically, you know what, guys? I'm not gonna leave it off here because it's only been 8 minutes, so I have to, make this a little bit longer. So basically, was all my walks in the class and explains to the class they're doing quirk training. Now, Deku's hero costume is like in the thumbnail. Deku's hero costume is this. Deku's hero costume is this, with the red cape and everything. So Deku's hero costume looks exactly like this in the picture and everything. So Deku wears this exactly to the, peak. And basically Deku walks out there and pretty much everybody comments, pretty much a couple people compliment Deku on his hero costume. Now everybody's teamed up the same, and Deku's teamed up with Ochaku. Deku tells Ochaku to go up there to go up to Ida and pretty much take him out, or try to distract him while I take down Bakugo, because Bakugo's the biggest threat here. Basically, Ochaku says yeah, and pretty much, runs up the stairs. Deku runs off, and pretty much running down the right hall, running, and eventually coming across Bakugo. Bakugo throws an explosion at Deku, and Deku dodges it, transforming into a 9-tailed fox, pretty much running towards Bakugo, pinning him on the ground and about to bite into him. But Bakugo throws a huge explosion, also putting the pin on his gauntlet in Deku's face, blowing Deku a couple feet back and blowing him out of his transformation, or knocking him out of his transformation, knocking him on the ground, Deku coughing up a little bit of blood. Deku transforms into a Wendigo and pretty much runs over to Bakugo. Bakugo throws an explosion, but Deku instantly, pretty much I mean, like, instant transmission behind Bakugo and grabs him by the throat and pretty much chucks Bakugo through 2 walls, running through the holes that Bakugo made when he was thrown through the walls, and pretty much running on top of on top of Bakugo, pretty much taking out his claws, about to just scrape, or about to just, kill Bakugo. Now, basically, Deku, when he transforms into transformations, I didn't mention this, but when he transforms into transformations a vampire or anything like that, he gets he gets their natural, basically he gets their natural instincts. He gets their animal instincts and gets their need to kill and also thirst for blood. So basically, Deku, is about to just end Bakugo's life right then and there, but Bakugo actually stops Deku right there, and pretty much throws another explosion with the gauntlet, pushing Deku through 2 ceilings, or through 2 buildings. Pushing him through 2 floors upwards. Deku falls back down through the hole, and Bakugo throws an explosion at Deku while he's in the air, falling down to the ground. Deku gets knocked out, seemingly, and Bakugo stops, but he sees that Deku's gone, and pretty much Deku appears behind Bakugo, knocking him out with one quick karate chop right upside the forehead, right upside the neck, so basically knocking out Bakugo. Deku runs upstairs, pretty much seeing Ida and Ochaku fighting. Deku transforms into a Minotaur and pretty much punches the snot out of Ida, punching him through 2 pillars, knocking him out. Ochaku grabs the bomb, and pretty much, hero team wins, villain team loses. Deku de-transforms, and Deku, walks off. Now, basically, Deku, and I didn't explain the whole entire purpose of Deku's hero costume. Deku's hero costume isn't really bulletproof or anything like that. It's just aesthetically cool looking. So yeah, so basically, it is bulletproof. His suit is fireproof, but anything else than that, and Deku's suit is just, normal. It's for aesthetic, and it's also very, cool. Now, basically, Deku, gets praised because he took out both Bakugo, one of the highest students, in, a limited amount of time. Now, basically, guys, I'm gonna leave it off here. So, hope you guys enjoy, hope you guys like, subscribe, and have a blessed day. Bye.